Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. So a lot of you have been asking me to do a what's on my iPad video before, and since I have a lot of time this vacation, I'm gonna do it for you guys. So this is my current iPad case. I got it from Shopee for less than 200 pesos. And this is now my Gujadak pencil. I don't know what happened with the coating, but I know I kinda messed up with it. But what's the most important thing in here is my iPad, right? So this is my wallpaper. I got it on Pinterest. I find it really minimalist and aesthetic, and that's why I'm using it. I really like the color scheme. And basically on the sidebar, you can see in here Gmail, clock, Mimong, and notes. Gmail for contacting for my YouTube, and then clock, and then Mimong for my daily activities, planning, and then notes for random thoughts and if I want to write something about my description box. And this is now my main home screen, the entertainment home screen. So let's talk first about my widget. So the first widget is Zen Flip. So basically a lot of people use it as an eye aesthetic in their desk instead of turning off their iPad, but you can also use it as a Pomodoro timer. And then the next are two widgets, which are quotes, and then the next one is an hype and picture. So if you want to put eye aesthetic too, you can check this up, Widget Smith. And now let's go to my first app, which is Netflix. As you all know guys, I watch a lot of K-drama, and that's why this app is a must-have for me. And right now I'm watching Hi Bye Mama.
괜찮아요. 내 취미가 기다리는 거라서. 뭐 앉아만 있으면 되는데 뭐 어렵다고.
I gotta say that my iPad has a really good speakers, and yeah, it's the main advantage of having an iPad, I think. And you can also reduce it into its screen size while scrolling to your social media. So I do this most of the time if I want to multitask. So these are my social media. I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, and I know you all know these apps already. That's why I'm not gonna tour you more. But this is TikTok. And this is the sound quality. And then the next up is YouTube. So basically these are the contents usually in my feed. Just study vlogs, Korean, mukbang, and hype and aesthetic vlogs. And that's all. Now let's move on to my next stock. This is the shopping stock. So as you all know, I do a lot of online shopping. And one of the shops that I shop most is Zalora because they have a lot of discount codes. And then Shopee for appliances and general things that I really want to buy, such as my new iPhone cases that I have right now, and even this iPad case. Also Lazada, and then New Chick. If you haven't checked my latest vlog yet of New Chick haul, please check it out. I know you know about Gmail already, and I'm gonna talk more about Mimo later, but I'm gonna show you the only game that I play on my iPad. Yeah, kind of boring. And now let's move on to my productivity home screen. And speaking of productivity, let me introduce to you the sponsor of today's video. UPDF is a free editor that supports various work on a PDF. It includes viewing, annotating, editing, managing, converting, and even locking PDF files. And here's what the user has to say about it. If you want to try it yourself, it is available on Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. As for iOS, you can download it on the App Store. I've tried using it for quite a while now, and I gotta say, it's so functional. And here is the main interface of UPDF. If you press the plus button at the corner, press scan, and then you will be able to scan your hard copies and turn them into PDFs. Just take a picture of it and crop the main text, and then you can convert it to any size you want. You can annotate as well if you go further. You can start managing your uploads by adding a new folder and then uploading your files. The next feature that I want to show you is annotating. You can highlight text and write on it to any color you want. You can even add additional text with your desired font, size, and orientation. The next feature that I also like is adding signatures on a PDF. I struggled a lot about it before really since I'm working on a lot of documents. Now, it's just easy to do it. You can also create your own document, and as for me, I usually use this feature for note-taking. And then after note-taking, you can save it as a PDF right away for easy printing. Here are also some features that you might want to check. My most favorite of all is security. You can hide all your confidential documents to your security space and it will need your fingerprint to unlock it. You can also add pictures and videos into the security space. And if you want additional security on your PDF file, you can lock it by adding a password so that if someone wants to get into it, they will also have to press in the password. They just have to press in the share button and then press lock. Once again, thank you UPDF for sponsoring this video, and if you want to try it yourself too, please click on the link below. And now let's continue with my productivity home screen. So these are my first stock photo and video editors. I use Preview for my Instagram feed, Snapseed for my photo, and Voice Effects for my voice. And Remini, I use it a lot if I create thumbnails because basically Remini is used if you want to turn your photos into a more HDR looking photo. And yeah, just like this is where I made my thumbnail looking more HDR. And the next app is Procreate. Basically, this is a paid app, but I'm not really using it that much. I only used it once when I made a project. But to give you an idea, you can create an art like this if you are really that talented, but I'm not. But anyway, my next stock is for schooling. I know you are familiar with all of these apps: G Drive, Google Meet, Zoom, Files. But I want to show you this app that I really used most. So this is a default app on my iPad and it is like a Microsoft Word. This is a very easy app to use and that's why I've made most of my documents here. You can even convert it to PDF, Word, or whatever type of document that you will be needing about it. You can also change the font size, the font, and the orientation, everything basically. So yeah, this is a very good app for everyone. So the next app that I am using is Forest. I know that a lot of you have seen me using it a lot. It's because it's very convenient. So a lot of study vloggers use it for Pomodoro timer, but actually you can also adjust the time depending on what amount of time that you need. And then as you focus on this amount of time, you will be growing a tree, and with that you will be able to see your progress. And also a good feature of it is that it has a background music if you want to turn it on, so it will give you a forest vibes for you to increase your focus. And yeah, I thought of trying it. So the next app that I'm using is Lingbi. So I use it a lot in order to talk with my fellow Korean learners so I can practice my speaking. And then the next is Sleep Town. It helps you to create a sleeping routine. And I don't really use it that much, to be honest, because my sleeping routine right now is very inconsistent. But anyway, yeah, I have an app here. And then the next is Naver English Dictionary. I use it again for Korean learning. And it gives you random sentences and words of the day. And then Egban, I'm not really using it that yet because it is a paid app, but you can try the basics.
잘 들어보세요.
And then the next app is PixArt. So this is the app that I used most when I want to edit my thumbnail. So I start with collaging photos and then adjusting the borders and then the layout. And yeah, I recommend this to everyone if you want to create aesthetic thumbnails, and it's up to you how you're going to explore it. So let's move on to the next app, which is VLLO, and it is the main app that I use for editing my vlogs. It is very convenient to use, but I'm using the pro version so that I can access, the more advanced features. In here, you can add photos, videos, and then add background music, sound effects, stickers, frames, yeah, basically everything that you need is all in here. And even the free version is already enough for you to create that aesthetic vibes. You also can see in here I'm using a filter. And then the next up is Canva. So I only use this if I want to add text into my thumbnail. So I'm not really using it for collaging, editing and stuff. I just use it for adding text. And now let's move on to my few remaining apps. I know a lot of you know about Pinterest, and I'm a person who likes taking pictures and videos, and this is where I get my motivation, my inspiration, the color scheme that I want. And I just like scrolling through it. And then NGL, the very famous and trending, thing on Instagram these days. And this is the two widgets that I have here. The one I've been telling you, Mimong. So it is where you jot down the things that you want for the day, and then you can basically paste it into your home screen just like this. And then the calendar just to make it look more aesthetic. And I also have other apps in here that are not in my home screen because you can hide it, such as the default apps of the iPad, but that's basically all that I have in my iPad already. So oops, and by the way, let's not forget about GoodNotes 5. It is the main app that I use for note taking. I purchased this rather than the Notability because I feel like I write more clean and more beautiful in here. It is very convenient to use. You can use different colors in writing, highlight text, and you can even import PDFs, images, and crop it right away, export it right away, convert it into PDF right away, or print it right away. So it is very easy and convenient to use. So if you want to try note taking yourself, then I suggest to use this app. And last but not the least, a lot of you have been asking me if 64 GB is enough, and in my opinion, as a YouTuber and a student, it is already enough, especially if you have a phone already and you're just using the iPad for editing and school stuff such as joining Zooms and annotating, writing notes. It is enough already. As you can see, I even have here Netflix and YouTube, but it's already enough. So yeah, that's for my what's on my iPad video. I hope you like this video. Bye bye.